Great, thanks Paul and thanks Dan. So firstly, good morning and good afternoon wherever you are in the world. In fact, we have some very early morning starts here in Melbourne, Australia. And as Dan said, I would like to thank you very much for firstly attending this conference, and also we're very keen to engage with you to ensure that we not only develop the roadmap in the way that it needs to be developed, but also constantly get this feedback loop, which I think is a really critical part of what we've been doing in our fairly short lifetime as a business, and keep that excitement going in our product suite, which you're going to hear a lot about today, which is great. I'm also joined by Peter Nguyen-Brown, who's a co-founder. I've been working with Peter for nearly 2 decades, 20 years. I've known him for longer than that. And Peter, I might actually just get you to do an introduction, if you can, for everyone on the call on yourself.
Yeah, hey guys. Yeah, my name is Peter Nguyen-Brown. As Karl said, business partners for almost 20 years now. Have originally come from a software engineering background, but we were fortunate to meet about 25 years ago through our girlfriends at the time, who are now our wives. And as to reiterate Dan's sentiments and Karl's sentiment, thank you so much for being here today, and also thank you for being part of our ecosystem. It's a big part of how we operate, how we think. So looking forward to getting through this today. Karl, I'll hand back to you for a few extra comments, and I'll add some commentary as we go on. Yeah,
great. And for those that don't know me, I've been based in New York City for the last nearly 10 years. I did spend 3 years in London before that. And I must say, having worked and lived almost for two decades overseas and worked in the software and collaboration space, we have not seen anything like the last 3 months. It's just been incredible. It's been hard. It's been challenging, but probably most of all, what I've been so proud about the LiveTiles team is that they've stood up, and for those that are new to Wisdom and Cycle and Hyperfish, that I know that you're joining this call, we've worked more cohesively than ever as a team, and that's been really exciting from my perspective. It's been great to see us come together, hold true to our values, and what you're going to see today is some of the byproducts of that thinking that we've had even in the last 3 or 4 months, which has been really exciting. So, and those that don't know a little bit about LiveTiles, I know that we are now Australia's fastest growing company, according to the Australian Financial Review, which is the Wall Street equivalent in Australia, which is exciting. So the #1 technology company over the last 3 years out of Australia. And that growth has really been through our customer base. We have over 1,200 customers, big, small, in every region of the globe, 39 different countries. And we're really taking, I think, the journey from the intranet and creating what we call the intelligent workplace, which we think is where the whole world is going. We think it's the future of work, and that's a combination of all the stuff you would expect in a modern intranet, but more importantly, fusing that with artificial intelligence and really allowing workers to do their best work. We have a very clear vision. Our idea is to simplify the complex, and hopefully that's what we're doing along with your teams wherever you are in the world. We've raised, also just so you know, we've raised about $160 million to date from the market. We are a publicly traded stock, and really, you know, that created a bunch of challenges in the last 3 or 4 months as far as being very communicative to our investors. And we actually, for those that want to see, we did send a shareholders letter out last week, which really described the journey we went through over the last 3 months, which, as I said, had challenges, but in my opinion, some amazing opportunities. And the biggest thing we did out of this was create this LiveTiles One initiative, which we'll come and talk to in a minute. But essentially, from my perspective, the great thing that we've done is we've mobilised our team. The first thing we did with our business, we made sure people were well and they were safe. And as I said, hopefully you are. We have a lot of people in New York City, which was unfortunately quite a big hub for the coronavirus. And the positive thing is that I can say is all our team globally were safe. And really what we did is we tried to work as agile as we possibly can. And we're very lucky. In fact, I think most of us on this call are used to using not only this type of technology through Teams or Zoom or whatever, but also, you know, these collaboration tools. It's essentially why we're on this call today. You're going to see a lot of information. So despite the fact that there are huge challenges, no doubt, in the world, and we don't think this is going to go anytime soon, and those challenges will continue. We think, particularly the people that are on this call, have a great opportunity to help their business out, help their users, help their colleagues go through this journey of working from home or working remotely, and providing this, what we believe we live and stand by, which is our values. And Peter, I might just get you quickly to talk about our values before I shoot over to this quick LiveTiles One rebrand that we're doing.
Sure, and just as I sort of get towards our values and explain a bit more about that, just a couple extra points. Karl and I as founders are extremely passionate, as you'd expect, around our business and our people, but we're equally as passionate about impacting your workplace as best we possibly can. It's basically why we exist. And we believe that the world is a better place when people are free to do their best work, which is a big part of what LiveTiles is aiming to do for your people and your teams in the workplace. My quick views on the workplace as well, interestingly, I mean, pre-COVID, you had all these experts and futurists describe what the future of the workplace looked like over the next 5 to 10 years. And obviously in the last 3 or 4 months, there's been some major issues in the world around COVID in particular. And what's been really clear to us from early in that process, and probably even more so now, is that what was going to take 5 to 10 years to sort of eventually and slowly come to the workplace is now going to really happen over the next 1 to 2 years. And it's really important that you guys understand that we are investing a lot of time and effort and R&D into bringing these technologies and capabilities much quicker to you guys. We're putting a lot of time into listening to customers. As Karl said, it is critical to us that you feel like you have this open connection and open feedback loop with us. And this is a great chance for us to sort of be more openly collaborate. From a values point of view, there's a few things that we sort of stand by in this business. The first one is that we get shit done. We don't like waiting for things to happen. We like to make things happen. And it's couldn't be any truer than the last 3 to 4 months of what we've all been through. We create unforgettable experiences, which is all about how our people and our technology impacts the people around us, whether it be customers, employees, partners, our families. We want to leave the world a better place. And the third thing, which I think is a critical one, and probably a good thing for me to finish on, is that we're decent human beings. It's in our DNA that we really want to make the workplace better for our employees and your own teams. But we also believe that we have an opportunity to do good in the world, and actually not just from a technology standpoint, not necessarily from a day-to-day work perspective, but we all have an ability, we believe, and a fortunate one from our perspective, to do things that will progress the world at large. And we don't think there's any better time than today, than now, for humans to be better humans with each other and to do better than what we had previously. So it's important for us to understand, or for you to understand, that we are working really, really hard on delivering value through our technology and people to your workplace, but B, that we have doing a lot of work and continue to do a lot of work to make society a better place, to help people. We have a big focus on mental health and well-being in the workplace, and you'll get a sense of some of those things as we go through the next 2 to 3 hours about how we can bring some of those learnings into your workplace as well. So, Karl, that's probably the update on a values perspective.
Yeah, and I think, as Peter said, this is no doubt a very fast-changing time, and certainly all of us on the call today, we think we've got a responsibility and a great opportunity to assist and really help our colleagues and our users, our customers, however you want to look at who you work with, in a way like never before. And you'll see that our solution on the way to the intelligent workplace, that what we do is never been more relevant than ever before than today. And so what are the things that we did in the last sort of 3 months? We took the opportunity to look at basically the many products we have in our portfolio. And for those that don't know, we've had Wisdom join our group with an incredible set of enterprise intranet features. We've had Hyperfish, which does intelligent directories and uses data and AI around data to find out what's missing out of people's brains and go and chase them for it. And to us, that's a really exciting part of our business that A lot of you may not even be aware around a product called Hyperfish. And then we've also got recently in December, we joined forces with Cycle, who have an incredible set of products. One is around Matchpoint and really ability to aggregate content and information together, as well as a product called Condense. And that was all about how do we provide frontline worker communications. Maybe some of our customers don't have access to the Office 365 kiosk view, or they don't have access to any sort of tech in their especially retail workers and manufacturing workers. And this has been an amazing way, and you'll see this later on today, to be able to get information out to those workers, whether it's communications, whether it's documents, whether it's simple alerts. And it's never been more relevant than ever in this time of COVID and people working from home, being able to communicate. We're big believers of you can't over communicate in this sort of time, because you need to, everyone feels isolated. And as Peter said, people feel more isolated than ever. There are mental health issues. Those are the sort of things why it's so critical we remain connected as a group wherever you are in the world. So look, one of the things, we won't go through this in heaps of detail. You're going to see this in action today, so I won't spoil the amazing work that the development team, and we have 200 people passionately dedicated to this every day. As I said, we've raised $160 million. We've spent about $100 million to date on our product development. We're going to spend a lot more over the next few years than that. And you'll see that as we grow, we'd love to grow with you as a customer to make sure that we're continually addressing all of the key concerns that you may have. So we had about 9 to 10 different product names in our group. And even internally became confusing about talking with those various names. And so one of the things we've done very recently, and this gets launched officially next week, and we're giving you a bit of a preview on this, is LiveTiles One. We now have one LiveTiles name versus the Wisdom name, the Cycle name, the Hyperfish name, and many different product names. Really to simplify that for customers, to make it easy to understand these are the solutions. And then importantly, we've also done it for our partner network. So we have about 200 odd partners, about 220 partners in our group, all across the world. And the great thing about that partner ecosystem and that network is that they can make sure that if the customer needs support, if they need some sort of custom development, if they need some sort of custom solution, that partner with those very specific skills, we almost have, you name a skill, you name a scenario, we have a partner globally that can deliver that. So we have now really 4 key product suites, and I'll do my best job at describing this, and I'll let the people in our team just show you, which is a much better way to do it. But really, LiveTiles Everywhere, which is our exciting new, wherever you go, omnipresent application aggregation and notifications. So whether you're in Teams, whether you're in Salesforce, whether you're in Slack, you're going to start to be able to get some of this information that was typically locked away just in your intranet or in other systems, and it's going to follow you wherever you go. And really, this is about simplifying the experience for end users. So we've already got some huge customers that have taken this on. I was with a customer last week, one of our big government agencies that have 8,000 people in the call center, and they're able to basically use this solution without them having to switch out of this Microsoft Teams product. They can get to all of their customer information and stay inside the one screen. And so that was one of the best examples I've seen it being used, but it literally saves them time from switching through often 15, 16 different applications in the day. They can stay on one and get all of that information. So you're going to see a demonstration of that. And to us, that's a really exciting product. I think your users will love it. It makes their lives so much easier and simpler. And that's really what we're trying to do. LiveTiles Intranet is probably what you might know us for. A lot of people on this call are around our intranet tools. Rather than have Matchpoint, which does amazing aggregation, rather than have Wisdom Enterprise, or the enterprise features that we have in the designer, LiveTiles design tools, we're now essentially merging those into one product suite. And so you'll be able to have access to all of those different products. They're the best in class. Forrester just rated us as the largest market share next to Atlassian and Microsoft. The latest as a strong performer, and in their recent intranet reports. And obviously, if you look at our whole product suite, we think we are far well ahead of anyone else, particularly when it comes to artificial intelligence. Which brings me next to LiveTiles Quantum, and that's our data and AI stack. So for those that have used Hyperfish before, which will now become our data, intelligent data platform, under this SKU, we've got our intelligence platform, which is all about how do we go about finding out what users use and what they don't use. And then we've got a bunch of new stuff, really exciting new tools and solutions under this LiveTiles Quantum product area, which is all about how do we get data, how do we use it, and how can we go forward. So to us, that's a really exciting platform. And then last but not least, we have LiveTiles Reach, which some of you may be using this already. We have a bunch of customers globally on this already. It was called Condense, out of the team in Cycle in Switzerland. And that really is about how do we get to the frontline workers. You don't need Office 365. You don't need any other solution. It's a very it's a great comms tool where you don't have those solutions for those people. So that gives you pretty much an overview. On behalf of Peter and myself, we really want to thank you again for joining this. You're going to see some exciting stuff in the next little bit. We might be going to bed about halftime. It's about 12:30 a.m. here for me, so apologies if I don't stay to the end. But I've got 4 children under 12, and they usually wake me up about 5 a.m., which is in about 4 hours. But look, really appreciate everything, and thank you. And I'll hand it back to you, Paul, and thanks for your time today.